¿Qué tal, amigos melómanos? Bienvenidos a Dark Metal Divas, el portal que se dedica a difundir contenido de rock y metal con protagonistas femeninas. Y en este caso vamos a entrevistar a Helle Bogdanova. Sí, se llama Helle como Hell de infierno. No importa. Ella es vocalista de una banda que es revelación del género. Se llama Ignea, son procedentes de Ucrania. Y si no la conocían, esta va a ser la oportunidad perfecta para que conozcan un poco de la banda y también a su vocalista, Helle, que es a la que vamos a entrevistar. Así que, sin más introducción, vamos a por la entrevista. Hi Helle, welcome to Dark Metal Divas. First of all, thank you for accept this interview and kindly give us part of your time. So cute of you, Helle. What a name, so cool, really. Helle. Homophonous with Hell, I assume. I hope. Like underworld. Please forgive my pronunciation, I'm still learning. In that case, your parents have the darknet wave. Our Spanish-speaking community have received all your work very well, and in the page, since we found you, we've always shared what you're doing.
So hi, my name is Helle, and I'm the vocalist of Ignea, obviously. Thank you for having me for this interview. I really appreciate that, and I do appreciate that the Spanish-speaking community has received our work very well, and we do see all your shares on the Facebook and duplicating our news. That is really, really cool.
Well, let's get started. So, let's talk a little about Helle. For those who don't know you, who and how is she like? Where does she come from? What are her hobbies? Things like that.
Well, I come from Ukraine. I live in Kiev, the capital of Ukraine, and I've been living here for pretty much all my life, except for 1 year in Germany. And I've tried to make it bachelor in economic theory, but it was too boring for me. And now I ended up being a marketing specialist in IT and blockchain projects and all this stuff. But I've always felt that music is something that is really close to my heart. And I've graduated from a music school with a guitar class. And I've been a guitarist for some time, but I had some issues with my hands. How I played. The health problems. And I was always asked to sing something, and eventually people liked how I sang, and that's how I became a singer, not a professional, but a singer. As for my hobbies, I really do love skiing and doing fire show, but the sadness is I don't do that much these stuff. I don't practice them so much, and I hope that I will change this situation pretty soon. But my another love is traveling. I love to travel everywhere. Yeah.
Great. Before you joined Ignea, how was your relationship with music and then metal? Have you always liked it? Or were you in another project? What kind of things did you have in mind a few years ago?
Well, as said, I was a guitarist before that, and I had a couple of bands, but it was nothing serious about that. And Ignite is my first serious band. At least we're trying to be serious and professional, without joking. And as for the metal stuff, back at school, I wasn't listening to metal at all. And I saw that it was kind of a noise, and I didn't like it. But some of my friends and acquaintances introduced me to the proper metal, and I've been. My first metal gig was a hate breed gig, and actually I got into the mosh pit and into the slam, and it was awful but interesting at the same time. And eventually I got into listening to metal, not only metal because my music taste is quite diverse, but yeah, I mean, if you take a couple of years ago, I've already been with Ignea, so I just didn't think it would go as serious as it is now, I'd say.
Now, I'm curious about how you came to Ignea. Parallax at the time, explain us how everything emerged for the band to exist.
Well, Parallax started actually without me because our keyboardist Evgeny was the founder of this band and he is the main composer of this band. And actually, there was a moment when we got to know each other and he needed some backing vocals for a demo. And I recorded these backing vocals like just in his apartment and it sounded good. And I was invited to sing as the lead singer for Parallax, and we changed eventually the name of the band to Ignea. And yeah, I think I was kind of a catalyst in this band, but not in the meaning that I was like, I don't know, the changer in terms of music or the creative part. But I just thought that the band had a potential, and I became kind of a manager and yeah, for it, not just a singer.
Your voice. I still remember the first time when I hear Alga. After all the epic and wonderful introduction, you caught so much my attention with that style. Your black hair, the makeup, that crown, everything. And then you start to sing and you impressed me even more with that tone of voice, so particular, that kind of severe and a bit lower register. Very different from what one is used to hearing in the female fronted. So tell us about your vocal training. How could we describe it? Were you in any kind of singing academy or did you take some classes?
So as said, I'm not a professional singer at all, and I took guitar classes. Yeah, I'm self-taught, but I do watch some YouTube videos, and I had some courses online, and I think I've got a lot more to study in terms of vocals, and I think that I'm only at the beginning level, you know, and I'm now trying to find my vocal coach, which is not that easy because in Ukraine you don't have that so many vocal coaches that teach both clean singing and extreme vocals, you know. And actually some people have referred to me so that I would teach them to scream and growl, but I believe that I should be studying, and that is really strange for me at the moment. So my vocal training is simply our practice with the band every week, and I just try to sing as much as I can, although because of my day job it's not that much, and I will change it. I will change it this year.
Following this topic, what kind of singers, either female or male, are at the background of this Helle's voice? You know, like your favorites or those that have influenced your voice in a certain way? And which one of them do you believe are more compatible with your voice and Ignea's music to, for instance, do a duet with?
Well, it's kind of complicated question because as said, I don't only listen to metal, and I get inspiration from lots of things and in terms of vocals as well. Because, for example, I like Lady Gaga and Christina Aguilera. At the same time, I like Elisa white-gluz and Angela Gosso, obviously, but actually I do. There are two types of vocals. I mean, the vocals I like to listen to because I like the timbre, and those are mainly male vocals. For example, I love the voice of the Poets of the Fall singer because it's like deep and very cool voice, but I couldn't sing like that, you know. And at the same time, I like the technical side of singing, and that's why I listen to Christina Aguilera at the same time, because she's doing crazy stuff with her voice. And yeah, I like Elisa because she can do various expressions with the extreme vocals, and that is really cool. I do love Mirkur. I love Gospel of the Witches and Curing Crisis, and yeah, there are lots of cool singers to follow, and I don't know, there can be situations when I don't like their music, but I like how they technically do it, you know. That's my point.
By the way, I had forgotten to thank you for sending this t-shirt, this, that I won in a giveaway made by the band. After the first one was crushed and turned into pop by an aircraft tug in Italy. I don't know how this happened. Anyways, I love it. I love mandalas and sacred geometry, and it looks gorgeous. Yeah. I've seen on your Instagram that you like to buy merchandising from other bands, like Behemoth. In fact, you value them a lot. In a publication, I saw you caressing and touching it as if it were alive, like a little baby. I must to admit that I also did it when I received my merchandise. Oh, I caress it as an invaluable object, and then I say, oh, this music comes from the other half of the earth. So, you look like a person who accustomed collect things, and I wanted to ask you, am I right? Tell us about what kind of things you collect, or something like that. That was a car. Sorry, I live in a main street.
So, as for the merchandise, I'd love to buy lots of merchandise from other bands because it's a great thing to support them. But there are many times when I like the band, but their merch is total crap. I mean, it's not stylish at all. It's not interesting. It's just a black t-shirt with a, I don't know, white logo, and that's everything. And as for Behemoth, I like their vocalist and his passion and his mindset and the way they create the design of their merch. I mean, they're stylish in everything. And that's why I was very glad to have this merch with me. But I'm not that a fan of Behemoth, you know. I'm a fan of how they do things. And I actually I don't collect anything. I always try to, but I give up. I don't know. I think that I could collect vinyls, but but it's really complicated to get them so that they don't get crushed by the post. So the only way I could do that is travel and buy them somewhere in the record stores, which I'm going to do. But I can promise you I'll keep on collecting them because, as said, I always do give up that stuff. That's me.
Taking up the Ignea's topic, tell us a bit about your role in the band, besides being the singer, of course. Did you have any participation in any area of the composition? I've also seen out there that you take care of marketing and management issues and that kind of affairs, which lies behind being a band with an independent level. So tell us about that. It's interesting. Another car, really sorry. Speaking of that, Helle have a channel on YouTube where she talks about this sort of things. So check it out.
Well, as said, I'm not only a singer, I'm the marketing manager and the manager of the band as a whole, although recently we've signed a contract with the Flaming Arts Agency, which is our booking agency and management agency as well. So, I mean, I'm not the only one in charge as for now, but yeah, I'm kind of a pusher when it comes to this band. And yes, I also have written half of the lyrics that we've got to our songs, and I'm not a composer, and it's pretty funny because like I have a diploma from music school and I could have been writing music. At the same time, Evgeny, who is our composer, he has nothing to do with music education at all, and yet he is writing music and the scores, the orchestral parts and all this stuff. So it's a pure talent. I'm good at words, he's good at music. We come along really good. By the way, about my YouTube channel, I really did start it, and I've shot some of the videos, but eventually I thought that it would take too much of my time, which I don't really have, and I'd rather be singing and practicing that than speaking about marketing in the music industry, because someone who is really practicing that could be doing better than that. So yeah, I gave up doing this channel, but I thought that I may change it and transform it to a channel where I could make, for example, music and covers that don't really suit to Ignea, you know, or make some vlogs or what's happening in my life. So I'm thinking about that.
There is another thing that I'm interested to know how was carried out, and is the fact that you played with an orchestra in your video clip to Olga, and I wonder who was possible that an incipient band were able to do this. I mean, it wasn't difficult to you contact with all of them and even more organize them all with each instrument, music scores, and so on.
Well, that is a question that we always get actually, and it was a pure coincidence. Is that one of our acquaintances has heard that Olga actually the music, and he loved the intro, and he arranged this orchestra so that he could use our mutual cooperation in his portfolio with his orchestra, and yeah, we could give an orchestra to play with. And so it was quite complicated because, you know, in Ukraine, classical musicians don't like to play metal, even if they play some symphonic parts. I mean, they think it's a pure noise and that they are academic musicians and Mozart is better. So yeah, it was pretty tough. But eventually, you see, the orchestra brought us a lot of inquiries and fame. I mean, this is the most popular video of ours, and I hope it will change because we play a bit different music at the moment. But yeah, it was awesome that we have had this opportunity.
I'm also curious to know how the creation of the songs works. We know that Evgeny, I don't know how to pronounce it, compose them in their initial state, but then all of you help each other for orchestral arrangements and oriental melodies. There are so many elements in your music, so tell us how this process flows.
So I said Evgeny is the founder of the band. He is the composer of the band, and pretty all the music that you now can listen from Ignea is written by him. There were a couple of riffs that were written by our guitarist and bass player, but there were just like the basis, the foundation that was eventually developed by Evgeny into what we have now. And I also so how it goes, he just writes a very qualitative demo song, without lyrics, without words and vocals, and then I add the vocals there, and everyone studies his part at home, and we come to our practice room and we practice the complete song. I mean, some arrangements can be added when we are already in the studio recording it, and our sound engineer gives us advice on what can be improved even more, and as the mixing process goes on, there can be also added something, But yeah, Evgeny is mostly the sole composer in our band. I don't know how he does it, sorry.
One of the things we love about Ignea is that sound not easy to catalog and pretend be precise, so I'll begin to invent, I don't know. If you go with a jazz teacher and he is with his headphones in the middle of a trip and he is about to press play and run the sign of faith, but before he asks you what kind of things is he going to find on it, how would you describe the song to he?
Wow, that is really complicated for a jazz teacher. I'd love to have a jazz teacher, by the way. So I'd say it's a mixture of songs that have a heavy sound and lots of symphonic and oriental melodies. It has soft songs and harsh songs, not only in terms of vocals but of the atmosphere. He would find there a metal ballad, a rock ballad. He would find there some pretty brutal stuff, some a lullaby, which is the lullaby, you know what I'm speaking about. Yeah, I don't think he would like it actually because he's a jazz teacher, but I hope he would have the same diverse musical taste as I do.
¿Qué tal, amigos melómanos? Ya empezamos mal.
And what was another question? Sorry, I did forget. Sorry.